What's going on, everyone? I am back with another video today, and today I'm going to be talking about the top 5 performance mods for your Mazdaspeed 3 or your Mazdaspeed 6. I got off of work early and I realized that I still needed an oil filter for my oil change video that I'm going to be doing either tomorrow or Sunday, most likely tomorrow. And I figured, why not go to the Mazda dealership? They usually close right before I finish work, so I figured I may as well scoop this shit up. Also guys, I wanted to give you guys an update on the loose coil pack. So as you can see, it's quite a nightmare right now. So first things first, I scratched up my valve cover with a drill. I don't know, man. It's not the prettiest. Right now, I have it held in by a bolt with a silver stick inside of it. I tried to extract it out with an extractor, and it ended up snapping the extractor because it's still stuck in there. So I have that holding it right now. It's holding pretty good right now. There's a little bit of play. Car doesn't misfire, but I'm gonna get it fixed probably within the next week. My buddy has a full kit where we're basically gonna put a new thread in it, so that shouldn't be too bad. But it's kind of unfortunate that I scratched up my valve cover, and yeah guys, it is what it is. Also guys, as you can see, I really need a car wash. This is from just me plowing snow, and then it just gets dried off after a while. Yeah, it's in clear winter mode right now. It's pretty dirty, but hey man, it's doing its job. But Jesus. Jeez. Other than that guys, the car is running fine right now. Also guys, if the video is kind of shaky, I apologize. Yo, it's so freaking cold right now. I'll probably throw up a screenshot of what it is right now, but yo, it's freaking freezing outside. But like I said, I wanted to get another video up before my oil change video. So anyways guys, let's get into it. So number 1 on the list is an upgraded top mount intercooler or front mount intercooler. So if this is your first video, as you can see guys, I got the Ultimate Racing front mount intercooler. As you can see, looking really nice with that open mouth grill. Got the piping nice and powder coated and stuff. But yeah, definitely an upgraded intercooler. So the problem with the stock top mount intercooler is it's really thin, it's really small, and it's sitting at the top. So basically the problem is when the car gets really hot, it heat soaks a fuck ton. So whether you're just driving regularly, you're in stop and go traffic, maybe you're beating the shit out of the car gets really hot. Another problem with the stock top mount intercooler is it takes longer for it to cool down. I mean, it's not that bad. I will talk about this later, but getting in an upgraded top mount intercooler will take longer to cool down than the stock one, but still nonetheless, since it's sitting at the top, it does take longer to cool down than a front mount intercooler. So the thing about the upgraded intercooler is it gives your car a lot more cooler air, and you guys know what that means. Cooler air means more power, and more consistent power too, because especially on the hotter days, you notice that when your car is heat soaking, you kind of lose that power. If you upgrade your intercooler, you won't experience that much power loss, especially when the car is hot. It'll be a lot more consistent than it was before. So you may ask, what should I go for? Upgraded top mount intercooler or upgraded front mount? Well, it really all depends on your budget and what you're looking for. So the thing about the front mount intercooler is since it's sitting at the front and not the top of the motor, you're getting consistent cool air. If you get an upgraded top mount intercooler, yes, the car won't get as cold as easy, but after a certain amount of time, it will get hot because at the end of the day, it's sitting at the top of the motor, and all that hot air is gonna sit on top of the motor. And since it's a lot bigger and thicker, it's going to take even longer to cool down. If you have a front mount intercooler, you'll literally notice when you're monitoring your access port and the boost air temps are a little high, as soon as you start driving, that shit just drops. And especially when you go wide open throttle or you give it a little bit of gas, the boost air temps just drop. Another bonus of getting a front mount is it just looks super badass, especially if you get the open mouth grill. I was really on the fence. If you guys are new to the channel, I always talked about how on the fence I was about getting the open mouth grill, but I'm really glad I did because it gives the car such an aggressive look, and my bats are a lot lower. The car is a lot more cooler, especially on the summer days whenever I go to the track or if I'm just doing some spirited driving. It really helps out. If you guys are interested in me doing a top mount intercooler versus front mount intercooler, definitely drop a comment down below. I'd be willing to make that video, but that's just a quick rundown between top mount or front mount. But either way, getting one of those is a big upgrade performance wise. So number 2 on the list is a aftermarket turbo. So you may ask, what turbo am I running right now? Well, I say this all the time on my channel. I'm running the stock turbo. So I want to make a disclaimer. I wouldn't recommend, like, if your car is basically stock and you want to upgrade your turbo, I recommend doing like all like the full bolt-on parts before that. So like intake, intercooler, downpipe, proper tune, all that shit. I wouldn't just jump straight to a turbo. You really have to like get all the supporting mods and get all like the stage 1, 2, and 3 mods before you get the turbo. I just want to make that very clear. The car will be able to get a lot more power than the stock turbo is. With the setup I have right now, I'm basically maxing out the stock turbo. I can't really get any more power out of it. If I want more power, I'd have to get a bigger turbo. So I have a love-hate relationship with the stock KO4. I really like the quick spool up. So literally, as soon as you're in the right RPM range, like let's say you're in like second gear, 3,500 RPM, as soon as you romp on it, like the thing just freaking goes. So the problem with that is when you get all that power all at once, especially when you're in a lower gear, like your wheels are spinning so fast because all the torque is just happening at once. If you get an upgraded turbo, then the boost will build up a lot more gradually, depending on what turbo you get. I mean, like, let's say you get like a B&R S3, that's kind of like a drop-in KO4 turbo where like it's like the same thing. Or you could get like a B&R S4 where like it builds up a lot more smoother, a lot more gradually. It's really all up to you. Another problem with the stock turbo is when you're really getting up into the high RPMs, like when you're going wide open, when you start to get close to like, I'm not sure the exact RPM, when I'd say like around like 5 to like 6,000 RPM, the power starts to like die out, you may notice. So number 3 on the list, we're going to be talking about an aftermarket intake and turbo inlet pipe, so a full intake. So the problem with the stock airbox is it's very restrictive, along with the turbo inlet pipe. So the stock turbo inlet pipe is made out of plastic. It's really cheap, really not that good, and it really restricts the airflow, especially how the turbo inlet pipe connects directly to the turbo. You also want to make sure that the intake and the inlet pipe is 2 separate pieces. So you could actually get the intake and the inlet pipe separately. So what I would recommend is getting both of them at the same time, because if you have just the intake and then you have like the inlet pipe, the stock inlet pipe is going to restrict some of the airflow, so you're not utilizing the intake to its full potential. It also makes the car breathe a lot better, and it also gives you that cool turbo noise. So I see a lot of guys say, like when they first get their speeds and they don't really know what to do, they say, oh, I want that turbo noise, so I want a blow-off valve. Don't do that. Get an intake and it'll give you that noise. So yeah guys, like I said before, definitely get the intake and the inlet pipe at the same time. You will see like a slight power increase, like the throttle response will be a little better, but unless you're getting like a tune for it, then you won't really see that much power, but it's definitely a necessity if you want more power in the car. So number 4 on the list is probably the biggest power gain you'll get out of the car, besides like getting like a bigger turbo, is an upgraded downpipe. So I want to make this very clear. So the downpipe is what connects directly to the turbo, not the catback. So that means if you upgrade the downpipe rather than the catback, you're going to be getting a lot more airflow compared to like a catback where you're still on your stock downpipe, so you won't really be making any more power. When I first got my car, I thought, okay, I'm going to upgrade the catback and make the car a lot faster. I didn't even realize that a downpipe is what will make the car faster, not the catback. So I just want to make that very clear. There's nothing to be ashamed of, honestly, especially if you're new, like you're just trying to learn and shit. So a downpipe is not only going to make your car a lot faster, it's going to make it a lot louder. If you want to optimize the downpipe to its full potential, you don't want to run like the COP stage 2, stage plus 2 plus, whatever the hell tune. You want to get a professional tune for it. So you can go catted or catless downpipe. Honestly, it really depends on your budget and what you really want and what kind of sound you want. If you want a more like deeper aggressive tone, then I'd say like a catted downpipe is the way to go. But if you want to like shoot flames and like, I wouldn't say it makes it more raspy. I mean, it kind of does for like some cars, but if you really want your car to be like stupid loud and like shoot flames and save money at the same time, because catless is a lot cheaper than a catted downpipe, that's what you should go with. I'm going to show you guys a clip of how my car sounded with just the catback, and then after how it sounded with like the upgraded downpipe and the catback together. So yeah guys, nonetheless, if you want to make some serious power in this car and really like up the power, make this car feel like a completely different car, a downpipe is the way to go. You honestly, like, I work outside and shit, but like, bro, it's still like pretty cold outside, so that's why I'm kind of just chilling in my car recording the last couple clips. But anyways guys, number 5, it's not really like a bolt-on, you wouldn't really think of it, but last performance mod, I don't even know if you can count this as a performance mod, is a professional tune. So if you've been watching the channel for a bit, you know how much I stress enough that you should not be running a cob tune. Whenever you get like a part installed, especially like an important one like a downpipe or like an intercooler, you really want a professional tune. The problem with the cob tune, think of it like this. It's like a one-size-fit-all tune. So for example, cob stage 1, it's only really meant for like high pressure fuel pump internals and like an intake. The problem is it's only made for like specifically like cob parts. So let's say you're running like a CPE intake or something, like specifically for me. When I first got my access port, I had a CPE intake in it, and this stage 1 tune is meant for like a cob intake. So like, I mean, it works for it, but it's kind of not. So that's why I call it like a one size fits all. The problem with the cob tune is it's just not specifically made for like your car. It's kind of like a traditional, like anyone can kind of throw it on their car. It's kind of like hit or miss if it'll run good or not. With a professional tune, the tune is specifically made for your car and your exact mod. So the exact like model of your car, exact brand of each part. Another thing with the professional tune is take into account it after like the data logs you send. So when you send data logs, the tuner will adjust it to like how it'll make your car run the best. With the cob tune, you don't get that luxury, you don't get that feature. You just throw in the car, whether it runs good or bad, there's no changing it. Also, when you get a professional tune, it'll utilize the parts a lot better. So you're gonna notice that if you run a cob tune, let's just say a downpipe, you're gonna see a slight power increase. But when you get a professional tune with a downpipe, the car is going to be a completely different car. Not only is the car going to be a lot more faster, it's going to be a lot more reliable and safe because this tune is made specifically for your car and its specific parts. If you want to know what tuner to go for, honestly, I'd say like there's a top 3. So first is Freak Tune, then I'd say Purple Drank, and then, I don't know, I've seen some mixed reviews where like they're not as good as they used to, and that's Stratified. And also Tuned by Nishan. I don't think he tunes anymore, so I wouldn't even look at him, but if you want to get like a good tuner for your car, honestly, I would just look at Freak Tune and Purple Drank. The fuck? If you guys have any more video ideas or suggestions, definitely drop a comment down below. I also want to say thank you to everyone who's been supporting the channel and for all the new subscribers. We've been growing pretty consistently. We're still on the grind to 1K. So if you're not subscribed to the channel already, please make sure to subscribe. Like I always say, we've got a lot more weekly content to come. I drop 2 to 3 videos every single week. Yeah guys, I've just been really motivated to make videos. I'm always just thinking of ideas, thinking of new ways to like, you know, up my content. It's always like going around my head throughout the week, and I really feel like I'm like doing something productive and really making the most out of like this whole like COVID bullshit and all that. I really hope you guys are enjoying the content. I'm really trying to like, you know, make it a lot more fancy, a lot more cool edits. I mean, there's not really much I can do with like how cold it is and like kind of the shit I do besides just going to work and like, you know, just chilling, but I try to make the most out of it. Anyways guys, that's enough rambling out of me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I always say, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.